as the boys ready for the cool conditions around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. But at the moment, it's beautiful, absolutely delightful conditions. And away we go. A very important game for both sides. Balmain just cannot afford another loss. It would take them to 5 losses and 2 wins. But Brisbane, they're not much better a position with 2 wins, a draw and 3 losses to start the season as Martin Masella hits it up hard and immediately swarmed upon by the Broncos. Sirenen, who couldn't last out the full match last week. He's been troubled by injury. Now John Elias. We've got the 2 Eliases out there, unrelated, but both from Lebanon. Back to Gillette for the kick.
Both could sell a fridge to an Eskimo. Don't worry about that, Warren.
Julian O'Neill inside his own 20. And a good chase from Balmain. No, in fact, too good a chase. They were offside in front of the kicker. Didn't give him 10 metres. First penalty of the match goes to the Broncos.
Well, that's an undisciplined mistake. Fair stuff by Balmain.
And here go the Tigers again with the repeat set of 6. And they're spending plenty of time inside Brisbane's 20 as Ben Elias has interfered with. Benny made a bit of a meal of it there. Probably could have done a better job of picking it up, but Brisbane were penalised.
Well, Kerrod Walters rakes in the ball there.
Well, I take it back.
Well.
Greg Burke right in front of the posts, and he lands the goal. He's got a 64% success rate, and that one straight between the posts. First points on the board to Balmain, and they lead 2 points to 0. Last tackle now. Gillette. Lazarus tries to get to him. Threw up a hand in the air, didn't touch the ball. Julian O'Neill. Chased by Burke. O'Neill has good speed. Cut down by Burke, who showed tenacity to stick with him. Madison swings it wide and knocked on by Andrew G. Now away go Balmain, and it's Will Robinson racing away for the try. And haven't the Broncos been made to pay for that mistake? Handling error by the Broncos, and a try goes to Balmain, and Balmain leads 6 points to 0. Tremendous start by the Tigers. Their defence is putting some pressure on the Broncos, but nevertheless, the Broncos are making a couple of elementary errors here, and it was high and above Andrew G. He couldn't pull it down. Lovely ball there from Tim Brasher. That was just magic basketball stuff from Brasher, and Will Robinson says thank you to the coach for putting him in the starting lineup and races away.
Here we see a great bend by Will Robinson. Gets rid of Alan Cairn. That's no easy feat, and he's over. We said he'd add a bit of spark, and he's certainly done that, as has Tim Brasher. We look at the replay now. Now the ball from Terry Madison it is. It's a high, wide one to Andrew G. He can't hold it. Spills it forward. Ciro's on the spot. And what about this little flick pass from Brasher? That's class, ladies and gentlemen. And Will Robinson, the big fend on Cairn, and he goes in unopposed. A great try to the Balmain Tigers.
You'd hardly recognise this Balmain side from the one that went around against Penrith last week. They look a rejuvenated side. He's brought it back 23 metres. He's hit it well. Waved away, though. Well, it was on its way. Just missing. But Balmain lead, 6 points to 0. Masella. Masella still going. Rips straight through them, Martin Masella. Opened him up. Can of sardine stuff. Last tackle now. McNeil up high for Wendell Saylor. Here come the chasers. They go high, they knock it back to Brasher. Tries to change direction. Gillette struggling to get to the line. Throws it back. Brasher gets it again. It's handball. Out now to Burke. Comes back now to Edmed. Straightens up. He's got support. Doesn't give the pass though. There were 6 more tackles though. A hand from Brisbane somewhere in there. I don't think Balmain had realised. I certainly hadn't. That would have been a late signal now. John Elias bustling his way for the line. Can Balmain score their second try? Ben Elias goes into dummy half. They'll keep their eyes on him. McNeil. Sirenen a little flat-footed. Back to Neil. Changing direction with Ben Elias. O'Neill grapples with him. Plath comes over the top. Only 10 metres out. Balmain leading 6-0. Will Robinson. Gillette. Not too sure where to go. Knocked back a couple of metres by Andrew G. Now Edmed launches himself at them, pops it back. Elias, Robinson, Burke. Well tackled though. Throws the ball out the back. That's a penalty. Oh, it's been stolen. Well, I thought that was thrown out by the Balmain player, but Eddie Wood says it was stolen by Steve Renouf, who says, ref, I didn't do it. crucial penalty here. Let's have a look at it as Burke was tackled. Came out very late, who knows, from that angle. 15 metres to the side of the post. He's kicked 1 from 2. And this one lifts the flags into the air. And Balmain really putting the cat amongst the pigeons here. The Tigers on fire, leading 8 points to 0. And the chief Tiger fan, Laurie Nichols, does a war dance. So Balmain have had a little bit of luck, but now here's a problem for them by their own hand. The kick doesn't find touch. And O'Neill beats the tackle of Neil, launches the back line. Here goes Langer, sights a little opening, but it closes on him. Good chase from Shane Powell. Also Greg Burke. Now the penalty goes to Brisbane against Powell. Kept the hand on Langer, trying to slow him down. Langer takes the tap, away they go. Plath standing wide. Plath almost away from Sirinen. He's made a few desperate tackles, Ciro. Sailor now. Brisbane starting to get into stride after the quick tap. G. Langer. Robinson got him. They're only 23 metres out. Hone. Goes up the middle. Driving run from Mark Hone to the 10-metre now. Plenty of men on the right, but it comes to the left. Madison pops it inside for Renouf, and there's the Brisbane try. Looked as if they'd come the wrong side, but Madison and Renouf found the opening they needed, and Steve Renouf doesn't need a very big one. And for all the possession Balmain have had, Brisbane get on the board with their first try, and it's 8 points to 4 in favour of the Tigers. A quick tap results in a try. Yeah, we see the inside pass there from Terry Madison, very similar to the try that Terry Madison scored himself in last year's grand final. Here we see Kerrod Wallace darting out. Watch this for a beautiful inside pass. That's a great ball inside to Steve Renouf, and there's no stopping him from there. Try time to the Broncos. Yeah, a lot of credit will go to Steve Renouf, but more should go to the pass from Terry Madison. And what about the understanding? I mean, that's just instinct to know where your man's going to be. Well, that's instinct and also a lot of skills training. He strikes it. Looks pretty good. Straight through the middle. So the Broncos 8. So the Broncos 6. Balmain 8. You enjoy calling those kicks, don't you? I do. I love it.
Yeah, Balmain really suffering from not putting that ball out. And look at Madison. He slid across the ruck there. Took about 3 defenders across with him. Instinctively, Renouf's on the inside. Good play, but Balmain was given a chance then by the referee and failed to put the ball out. And these...
Here's Renouf stepping and taking off. Slips a pass away, and O'Neill's over. That's a great try by Brisbane. But isn't this an amazing game of football? They're so unpredictable, Brisbane. They've made mistakes. They've given Balmain a chance, but in just the wink of an eye, Brisbane hit back to score 2 tries in 3 minutes and lead all of a sudden 10 points to 8, and Balmain must be shaking their heads. Beautiful football, the wraparound. It comes out wide, and Steve Renouf with the razzle-dazzle footwork steps, beats the tackle, takes off for the line and slips a lovely ball to O'Neill, who positioned himself perfectly to make the most of it.
Well, we mentioned before the game, there he is, that man Renouf, steps inside one, gets the big fend out. That's his great ability, his strength. Unloads a nice pass to Julian O'Neill. He was always going to score.
Madison from out wide, steers it wide. The Brisbane lead 10 points to 8. And as that kick was being lined up, we saw referee Ward talking to the Brisbane trainer.
You just have a look at the men here. You see the Balmain player sliding out inside with good footwork by Renouf, but this is where Peter Jackson said, look at the strength. He held off Burke and just popped the ball to the fullback. Very dangerous outfit with a bit of possession.
And here we have Brisbane leading Balmain 10 points to 8 in a tremendous game of rugby league so far. We've seen 35 minutes of action, non-stop, defence and attack.
Yeah, you can't complain about the quality of this game, and I'm sure John Quayle and Keith Barnes will be sitting down the New South Wales General Manager and, of course, the Balmain General Manager with big smiles on their face. Here goes Renouf.
Renouf's off. Away goes Renouf. Comes to the fullback. Steps straight past him. Left him pointless. He's an amazing player, Steve Renouf. What a sidestep. It was one-on-one, but a lot of fullbacks would have been able to make that tackle against anyone but Steve Renouf. Brilliant step. He stepped off his left and then off his right. Michael Gillette didn't know which way he was going. What about the pace to start it? Brisbane keeping it alive through G, and Kerrod Walters flings it wide. Once he gets the opportunity, that's a mistake. You cannot give him the opportunity. Look at the step. He came back infield, then away and left Michael Gillette just grasping at thin air. Well, they should random test him for booster rockets up his backside or something, I think, because he just takes off.
Yeah, tremendous speed off the mark. You watch him put the pedal down. Oh, we missed it there.
And it was great starting there from Brisbane. And Terry Madison adds 2 more points. And can you believe it? After being dominated for the first 25 minutes, Brisbane lead 12 points to 8 after 36.
Look at Balmain's defence running backwards. Look at that room up front. But G does well because he pops one back. This is a very selective pass. That one straight into Renouf. Caught the Balmain defence lacking, really. They started to drift infield. Gillette's had some problems with his defence, particularly last week, but I think we can excuse him on this count.
O'Neill, taken by Robinson. Hancock finds some space. He tears through them. Away goes Michael Hancock. Greg Burke shows good pace to go with him and chased him down.
Well, the hole's really starting to appear now in the Balmain back line.
And Balmain still straggling back onside as Brisbane go wide. Mark Hone, Alan Langer pointed and said, go straight ahead. And that may have been what Langer had in mind. He's drawn the penalty, only 10 metres out. And while he might be tempted to take the tap, will he take the 2? Oh, it's tap time again. Or is it? No.
Oh, Alfie.
That's a change of attitude. But the Balmain defence was straggling back on side here. Look at them all coming back. That's the team defending you're looking at, not the attackers. Here come Brisbane now. And look at Alan Langer just behind. He just points to Mark Hone and says, run at them. They're all offside. Day. Madison puts it over. And that must be very close to half-time. I don't know whether that was another factor in Alan Langer's thinking and going for the goal. 18 points to 8. Brisbane leading Balmain. And there it is, half-time now. So Balmain won't have to restart, and I don't think they wanted to either. No denying the Brisbane side. They are brilliant, and at half-time they lead 18 points to 8. Edmed. Just hitting it up. One off the ruck. Balmain get it out to the 30. Sirenen. Of course, early in the game, it was John Elias who was doing a lot of damage. He was hitting the line and then getting the pass away. Marcella, he slips a good ball to John Elias. And Hone manages to get him down, but he's lost the ball. Now, the referee says it was stolen. This time, Brisbane don't seem to dispute it as much, though Hone is hanging his head.
Yeah, you get a lot of this because John Elias always tries to unload. Therefore, players try and go in and lock the ball up. And as we saw on that occasion, Mark Hone just a little bit too over-enthusiastic about locking that ball up when he ended up raking it free.
And his touch judges on the field.
Terry Madison, I think this will be on a suspected or an alleged swinging arm on Steve Edmed. And as we see Edmed going over, it looks like he's got a broken nose. The trainer's walking over to say to Eddie Wood, have a look at this. Well, there's no need for that.
Benny's certainly trying to alert him to the fact that Chuck Edmed copped a fairly good whack then. He's coming off. It'll be a blood bin.
Jason Darcy's going to be the man coming on for him in number 41.
And he's a little wobbly in the legs, Steve Edmed. So referee Ward just waiting till Edmed leaves the field before Brasher will look for touch.
Here we go. Let's have a look at the tackle now. There's big Steve Edmed. Terry Madison, oh, very hard to see from that angle.
And they haven't found touch with the kick. Tim Brasher should have found touch, a player of his experience. He's gone for too much distance and Brisbane have got the ball. The kind of mistake that in the first half led to the undoing of Balmain. It's the second time in the game they haven't found touch with a penalty. Just getting back to that tackle by Madison was on the blind side of the camera, but certainly Edmed immediately reached for his face. We may hear a bit more. Player being sent off here.
That's Marcella.
Martin Marcella sent from the field.
Late high tackle.
How many times this season have Balmain lost a man? I'll tell you, twice already. Morven Edwards and Derek McVeigh have been sent off.
Well, there's a lot of concern here for the Broncos player. It looks like it could be Andrew G. Martin Marcelo-Clough.
The Tongan born, leaves the field.
Here we go on the replay. Kerrod Walters unloads to Andrew G. Now he unloads there. Well, I don't know whether it was high. It was certainly late, but the video doesn't show that it was high. Well, it's hard to tell whether it was late or not in that slow motion. But, I mean, the ball had been unloaded. You can pull out of a tackle, you know, Warren.
Chris Johns to Saylor. Saylor bursts away, lost his footing, 30 metres out.
It's been a handful this afternoon, Wendell Saylor. Always looked dangerous.
Ben Elias races up on Madison, but he gets a pass away. Alan Can now. Plath keeps it alive to O'Neill, searching into open space. Still going, races away from Gillette, and Julian O'Neill scores a good try. Fine try by O'Neill. There were a couple of tackles that really should have been made. Nevertheless, just the strength and speed of the Brisbane backs. Ben Elias moved up very quickly in defence here. He realised the danger, but Terry Madison got away from him. The next man up, Madison. See Elias arrive, but Madison steps away from him, puts Can into space. Lovely step and pass. Plath keeps it going. Now, this tackle really should have been made on O'Neill. Poor attempt by Michael Gillette. Not good enough in the very least. And over goes O'Neill. And the kick has missed from out wide by Terry Madison. And so the score now, Brisbane stride to a lead of 22 points to 8. O'Neill scoring 2 tries in the 31st and 51st minute. And Renouf also has 2 tries.
Now, Balmain really have to dig deep. All hands on deck. They've got their credibility at stake here, even though they have got 12 men. They can't afford to capitulate. They keep putting in. They'll get away from it. They'll walk away from this game with some respect.
Plath gets it out to Renouf, to Johns. Renouf again. Saylor now. Looked as if he was going inside, but kept going straight ahead. Pushes a couple of tackles off. Very elusive, and he must be strong as well. He makes tacklers look silly sometimes. Langer back inside. Here's Lazarus on the march. 15 metres out. Desperately trying to stop the ball. Inside to Johns. Telegraphed it a little bit, Terry Madison. Langer. Ryan steps up his right foot, makes a few metres. Plath quickly unloads to Renouf. Renouf almost away. Kerrod Walters hangs onto it. Langer will score in the corner.
Great football.
Quick, sharp passing. All the skills of the game. The defence was being tested. Renouf had a little foray, but while he was tackled, he got the pass back inside. And there's some lovely short, sharp passing. Support play. Langer here. Peter Ryan. Lazarus came charging onto it as well. Plath got it wide to Renouf. There's the step. But he was actually trapped that time, Renouf. But look at this work from Walters, who juggles to Langer. And they finally ran out of defence, Balmain.
Yeah, staying alive. That's the secret to this try. Alfie Langer, there he is. He gives the first pass. Now look at him backing up. Peter Ryan's able to unload to Johnny Plath. Now Alan Langer's still alive. He's still looking for the ball. Out to Steve Renouf. Nice pickup. Steps off his right foot. Strong enough to step into the tackle. Kerrod Walters, good presence of mind. And Alfie Langer goes over in the corner. He started the movement.
2 tries in 4 minutes, and the writing's on the wall now. Everyone who's backed Brisbane to win by a big score must be feeling pretty confident. It is beautiful unloading, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is a shame that Balmain are reduced to 12 men, but I've got a feeling that this may have happened anyway.
And Madison has missed again, just to the right of the post. It slid away, and Balmain still gathered behind the posts. And quite a lot of people did arrive just before the kickoff. There was no reserve grade game here. Looking around, you can see where the 14,000 people are. I don't think they have fudged the figures, as we sometimes suspect.
No, an outstanding crowd, an outstanding success. Congratulations, Keith Barnes and the Balmain club.
Long ball comes out to Renouf, and he's away from Burke. Renouf comes down to Gillette, and in and away, and Gillette can't get him. It's a nightmare for the fullback, and it's called Steve Renouf. Well, you'd hate to have to face him. Michael Gillette hasn't done a real good job of stopping him. Brisbane go to 30 points to 8. But I would hate to be, even the great Gary Jack, one of the best defenders in the game, I think would have his work cut out, stopping Steve Renouf. The real missed tackle was that one by Greg Burke. And in and away, and the list really a gentle fend to get rid of the fullback. Third try for today, 5 tries for the season. Madison's attempt is close, but not close enough. And it's 30 points to 8 in favour of the Brisbane Broncos. A much-needed win on the way here. Just watching Steve Renouf score a moment ago, you think of his acceleration, you think of his step, but it was Mark Coyne who pointed it out. The fend of Renouf is another weapon that he really uses, doesn't he?
Well, a lot of the times it's not like it's like his arm is bent and he sort of grabs hold of him and pushes them away.
And
he pushes them away and sprints and speeds up as he fends them off.
Walters gets it to Peter Ryan. Kerrod Walters having another good game for Brisbane, as he did last week in a beaten side. Brother Steve always knows that he can't afford to let up, or his brother will challenge for his Australian jersey, and a few other hookers too. Lazarus finds some space and gallops into it. Here goes big Glenn Lazarus, and here goes Renouf for number 4. Lazarus to Renouf, and it's number 4. Well, he is the black flash, isn't he? Once it was Larry Corowa, and now it's Steve Renouf.
Larry Corowa?
Beautiful to watch.
Larry Corowa wouldn't do up Steve Renouf's boot laces, Warren.
Oh,
look at Glenn Lazarus. Big Lazar hasn't seen that much space for a while, and he positions Renouf perfectly, and just too much speed. Number 4 for Steve Renouf. Holy moly.
Well, they call him the Pearl, and he is a pearl. He's just an absolute gem of a player to watch play rugby league. But here's Glenn Lazarus, the man who's leading the tackle count. He's got the legs for the attack as well, and magnificent positioning there by both men. The pass was perfect. The positioning of Renouf was exquisite. And Madison says, thanks, boys. At last, they're a bit closer to the post. And it should be 2 more. And it is. And it is suddenly starting to turn into a runaway now. 40 points could be not too far away. 36 to 8 in favour of the Bronx.
A good deal of the Broncos' attack starts around this fella, Madison. He just ran wide, a simple play, opened up a big hole in behind the play the ball for the front row of Lazarus, and, well, we've seen what this fella can do.
Dying might be the word. You better go and see Johnny Elias. Johnny Elias.
I reckon
what was Johnny Elias's career ambition, as he wrote it himself?
He wanted to own the most successful funeral parlour in the state. But I reckon if he was looking at you when you're lying on the slab, I reckon you'd come to life.
Here's a chance as flying through was Damien Ford, and he very nearly got there, but Brisbane just managing to get back in time. There it is, Elias, who's put in a couple of nice little kicks in this second half, but just getting back in time. I think it was Renouf again. McKenna. Good chance for the younger players like Chris McKenna and Sid Domick to get a bit of experience in first grade. And this win will certainly lift the Broncos after being beaten last week. Their record was looking a little shaky. They need wins against teams who aren't expected to beat them, like Balmain. Elias and Langer. Out it comes, and Darcy shrugs off a tackle. He might score. And the pass comes back inside, and there's a consolation prize for Will Robinson. And Jason Darcy deserves some credit. He has played very strongly since coming on. Admittedly, he's a bit fresher than some of the others. It's 36 to 12 in favour of Brisbane. But Darcy somehow managing to get the pass away here. Ben Elias had kept it alive in an arm wrestle with Langer. But here's Darcy, got away from home, set sail. I thought for a moment that he might go all the way, but Kerrod Walters jumps on his back. But there it is, Will Robinson, and what a reward for Will Robinson. He's got to be just about Balmain's best today.
Yeah, here we see Will Robinson. He's played outstanding football this afternoon. Benny Elias keeping it alive. Big Darcy goes for a gallop inside to Will Robinson, but Balmain supporters, don't be too disappointed with your guys. They've really hung in and tried hard this afternoon, but as I said, to be beaten by 22 points by a Brisbane Broncos outfit when you've only got 12 men on the field is still an outstanding effort.
And the conversion was landed to further improve the scoreline. Greg Burke knocking over the extra 2, but that is full time. It's a very quiet siren here at the old Princes Park, but there's our man of the match, Steve Renouf. Just a brilliant player, beautiful to watch in action. And Brisbane defeating Balmain 36-14 to the Broncos.
This has been a Fox Sports production.